Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Miller. I am the Executive Director and the founder of FemArt organization. We are a 501c3 that is a nonprofit supporting women artists and promoting their work so that the world becomes a better place. So we are so happy today to introduce you to one of our artists. Her name is Daljit, and she is a doctor. And I love calling her Dr. Daljit, actually. That is really wonderful. And we are going to be asking her some questions, not just about her doctorate degree that she has recently earned, but also about her art style and how she gets motivated to do art. And we would like to ask for our first question, Dr. Daljit, can you tell us a little bit about how you create and what inspires you to create artwork?
Well, my inspiration is mostly it's all about universe and my surroundings. As most of us, we are sensitive towards our environment, what's happening around us. So whatever is around me, basically, I am fascinated. I can say, in other words, fascinated by seed. So seed is my inspiration, and the story begins from there because until we open that window. Um, we don't know about each other, we don't know what's happening behind it. So end of the day, it's all comes to the beginning, and beginning I always see as a seed. So that's what inspires me.
Beautiful, thank you. And the next question I would like to ask you is, you are very, very proud of your cultural heritage, and I think it
Absolutely.
absolutely shows in all of your artwork. And can you
Thank you.
please tell us how you feel that your cultural contribution to Jacksonville is enhancing our cultural scene here?
Well, I am so glad that I always thought I'm a rebellion, or in our language we call it also, you know, Banjaras. They move from one place to another. And if I bring it to nature, it's called kunja, the birds, flying geese that we all on the earth, we are on like a bird, or you know, coming from place to place, living here and don't know the destination. So in my story, I'll add this little bit that I was born in India in a very small town, did my basic education from there. Then I moved to Canada, and then I'm flying here in Jacksonville and settled down here finally. And here I'm finding with a small community of not only Indian youngsters and talented people, they are into Bollywood dances and everything, but they are kind of, I mean, wonder sometimes that somebody can really take art as a full-time career. And when they get to know about my research work, PhD in arts too, they also say wow, because mostly people, they love their culture, they love their passion, but they can't pursue it. And I do see the challenges we all face, but I think that's one thing I can say, that when people see that I am painting and I'm carrying on with this passion as a profession, that is kind of impacting. I see the impact of that in that people. But when I say being Indian, I see this as a universe. I don't relate or niche it into one place, because many of our even my in my works, folk motifs, folk symbols, folk musical lores, they're all universal. We all are related. I mean, I don't see any difference, because I when we are doing some research, when we connect, these are the connections. We have those basic things that we can't get away with it, and everybody's related on this universe.
That is such a beautiful answer. I love that. Very,
Thank you.
very nice explanation. And it almost touched on my next question. And
Okay.
it actually did kind of touch on it. But I would love for you to explain that, since this show that you are going to be in, Where the Wild Women Go, it's going to be a
Hmm.
virtual show. And the
Mm-hmm.
virtual show will allow us to have global presence, that anyone from any country all over the world who has
Right.
access to the internet can come to this
Absolutely.
virtual show. And how do
Right.
you believe that your personal experiences will touch on anyone, and how do you think the arts touches people globally, even though there are so many different languages being used, and how does art transcend that?
It's actually a very interesting question. And usually, being an educator in school, I notice that you know what. Let's start from that basic thing. Um, Art sometimes been taken like okay, if somebody is doing art, talking about art or painting, it means they're gonna paint. That's it. Number one, it's not just painting. It's a research. It's the everything started from the sign language, which is art, which means language arts. Okay, it starts from caves. So caves were always global in the past from art. And then we're talking about if we're talking about scientific things, anatomy. If we are doing figurative work, it's all about anatomy and science and doctors' studies. Third, if we're talking about mathematicians, we do that in art too. There are calculations many times, and there are geometrical figures. Next, very important scientific. Another scientific tradition is the medicine. So when we are as an artist, when we are going out, we are not just representing our paintings, photographs, or a form of art. We are representing all forms of this present world knowledge. Because Leonardo da Vinci, he was a scientist, I believe, first. Michelangelo, he was a scientist because look, if we do some research in medical, he was the researcher. He did all those studies on the bodies and everything. So that's from the past, but definitely from here now, even in during this time of pandemic, um, art is the one form which is taking away the stress. The mental health is so important. And once you're doing any, knowing or unknowingly, when you are in any form of art, you're involved in it, it can heal you. It can heal anyone. So I think every artist on this platform is impacting everyone's life around them, which is so important and so needed at this time.
That is beautiful. And I
So I'm not sure whether I am sorry to interrupt you. I'm not sure whether I touched the exact question you were asking, but I think I tried to cover it.
actually, you did. You answered it
Okay.
beautifully. And it was very interesting to me that you mentioned Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, um,
Hmm.
because our world today has been viewing art through the eyes of a paternalistic history. That we
Hmm.
have been viewing things through the scientific minds and eyes of men, such as Leonardo da Vinci. And their
Exactly.
art has been very important to bring us to where we are today. But there have been so many voices of women artists who have not been able to um, be recognized for their great
Absolutely.
contributions. But hopefully in the future, maybe someone's going to be able to quote Dr. Daljit and say, yes, I remember what
Thank
she
you so much. Let me, when you're talking about this, let me tell you something about the Indian artist. Amrita Shergill was one of the Hungarian girl with the Indian background, just like Frida Kahlo. So it's just, I think, I will say congratulations to you because since you are doing such a wonderful job for bringing all the female artists on the platform, and I'm sure we're gonna touch everybody's lives through you globally too. And looking forward to it.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Daljit. Well, I have so many more questions for you, but I'm afraid we're going to have to save them for a future show, um,
Absolutely.
because I would love to talk more about the arts and about your cultural contributions and everything. But we're going to be closing this interview with a question that I've been asking every artist. And that is,
Hmm.
when you are getting ready to sit down and become that artist and get into your creative mode, What is your preference on beverages? Do you prefer tea or wine?
Okay, if this comes to the tea, I believe in tea.
Excellent. I would say
So we can
cheers.
have cheers.
Cheers to you,
And Indian,
Dr. Daljit.
thank you so much for taking your time and giving us opportunity. And looking forward for more opportunities and to work with you.